Yeah, this is it. Just relax. What? What's that sound? No, 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 no.
No! God,
No, no, no,
please,
no, 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 no.
No!
No, please,
No!
please, no. So you know how some opinions are just wrong? Like if I said a Ford Focus is better looking than a Ferrari SF90. While in definition an opinion can't be wrong, let's just be honest with you. There are just some wrong, objectively wrong opinions out there. And one of those wrong opinions is the opinion that winter is better than summer. Listen, if you live in like one of the southern United States, then you have an excuse. I understand. Like in Florida, it gets hot as fuck there. I get it. But if you live in the north, like me, like pretty much anywhere above the Carolinas on the East Coast, you should not be saying that winter is better than summer. Especially if you're living in like Maine. Brother, what? Brother, what? So let me give you a little quick rundown on why summer is a bajillion times better than winter, especially if you live in the north. Okay, my first point is that first of all, here in the north, summer is so much less life-threatening than winter. Look, I don't have statistics to back this up, but I feel it's pretty self-explanatory. Think about road conditions. Like here in the northeast, we don't get bad tropical storms. We don't get hurricanes. We don't get earthquakes, except for that one earthquake that happened around New York. We're not going to talk about that though. So if anything, our deadly storms come from blizzards, snow squalls, or just absurdly freezing temperatures. And guess when all that happens? In the winter. Because in the summer, none of that happens. We might get a bad storm here or there. Maybe it'll tumble like a really old house here or there. Other than that, we don't get storms we don't get hazardous weather in the summer like that. In the winter though, roads be dangerous. The temperatures be, if your AC breaks and that snow is like all the way up to here and no one can get to you, you're out of luck. You're SOL. What are you gonna do? You're just gonna freeze to death. And so my second main point, which kind of ties into the first main point, is that it is so much harder to drive, especially here when it snows in the winter. Think about this. There is little to no hazard or additional hazard in driving in the summer. But in the winter, everything can go wrong. Snow squalls, freezing rain, ice. That makes driving so much more dangerous. It makes just walking down the street more dangerous. You can slip on a piece of ice and break your neck. And also, you gotta remember too, where I live in that little like tri-state area of Pennsylvania, New York, New Jersey. I'm not gonna give away my exact address. Let's look at this, is dumb.
My name is Walter Hartwell White. I live at 308 Negra Arroyo Lane, Albuquerque, New Mexico, 87104.
What I'm saying is, if you're from one of those areas, you know how bad these drivers can be. Pennsylvania drivers just be old and slow. They don't know what they're doing. New York drivers are crazy aggressive, and don't even get me started on New Jersey drivers. Now, if you feel uncomfortable with those type of people on the road during regular times, imagine that, but on ice, you're done. You're just done. So my next main point, moving on, is that it's funner to cool off than it is to get warm. So hear me out. On a hot 90-degree day, because where we live in the north, it really don't get that hot. Maybe you might get a stray few days, a stray week of like 100, really high 90s. Most of the time, low 90s, high 80s. I get this a little uncomfortable, but hear me out, right? You wear shorts, you get hot, go to the pool, go to the beach, go inside, there's AC, and here's the fun thing. Your AC breaks, open up a few windows, you're gonna be hot, you're gonna be uncomfortable, but hey, if your heating breaks in the winter, then you're shit out of luck. That's the point where it's like, if it's snowing outside and someone can't get to you, you better be layering up, you better be turning on the oven, you better be doing everything you can to keep warm. But in the summer, it's like, fine, you're gonna be uncomfortable because it is arguably harder to cool off, but the way you cool off is more fun. It's much more efficient, right? Go to the pool, take off some layers. Like, it's just not that, like, eat some ice cream.
Eat some chocolate chip.
But like in the winter, you gotta get on layers. You gotta have like a whole PPE hazmat suit just to go outside and not freeze to death. Like, what is the fun in that? Warming up, there's only one way to warm up, or two ways to warm up. That is layers and going back inside. And trust me, once you get cold, it doesn't matter how many layers you have. It doesn't matter if you have a bajillion hand warmers in your hand. Once you get cold in the winter, there's nothing you can do. You just have to go back inside to the warm. Once you get cold, there's like no warming up unless you go back inside. Trust me. I stood outside like hours in the cold, and I know I had so many layers. I said, I'm gonna be sweating when I go out there. Once you get cold, game over, bro. It's just game over. You ain't warming up. And not to mention, when you do get cold, the effects are so much worse than when you're hot. Like when you're hot, fine, you're uncomfortable, you're sweaty, whatever. When you're cold, like my feet go numb, my hands go numb. I feel like I can barely even open my mouth to talk. Like it's like painful, and then I go back inside and my body has to thaw, and I can actually feel the pain. Like it hurts. It actually hurts to be cold. And so moving on, my next point is that there's just more to do in the summer. Like I said, go to the beach, go to the pool. Come on, these are things you cannot do in the winter. These are things you can't do in the freezing cold. And people don't know this too, but like if you're in the really cold ocean or like a really cold pool in the summer, you do understand you can still get hypothermia. You can still, and that kind of goes into my next point we'll get to later. But still, you can still get cold, like too cold in the summer, even in like 90-degree weather. But I mean, still, there's more to do. Like you could play golf. I love golf. Golf is so criminally underrated, guys. Like play golf. Come on. But you could play golf. You could play a lot of outside sports you just can't do in the winter. And don't get me wrong. A lot of these outside sports, they have these stadiums where you can play inside. But it's like, why would you want to limit yourself? Like, you can play inside in the summer too. But in the winter, you can only play inside. Like, why would you want to limit your options? And also, if you're playing a sport, I'd imagine playing outside is better. As long as it's not, like, cripplingly hot. You know what I mean? That makes sense to me. There's just so much more you can do in the summer. Go to cookouts. Go to outside cookouts. Like, come on, bro. You can't be doing that in the winter. It's too cold. And I think my last point kind of also leads in, because what I was saying with like the cookouts and all that, is it just has aura. It's like the summer feels are so much better. If y'all are in school, you're getting out of school. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, if you're an adult, you're working all that, then it's whatever. But still, the vibes are so much better. People are out. People are happy. People are at the pools, at the beach. People are outside hanging out with friends. You're not cooped up in the house, the warm house all day. You know what I'm saying? You can go out and do stuff. It just feels good. You hear the music playing. You go to the beach. You go on the boardwalk. You hear that music playing. You go to the amusement park. You hear people screaming on the roller coasters. You hear the music playing, the lights going on. Like it's so much better. It's stuff you just can't get in the winter. It's just the feeling. It's just summer just has a feeling. Summer is a feeling too. You know what I'm saying? It just feels happy. It feels free. It feels, let's just go do this. Let's have some fun. But in the winter, everything feels so dead. Everything feels so dull. Everything feels like, can't really go anywhere unless it's inside. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't want to be cooped up inside all day. I want to do stuff outside. I want to have that cookout. I want to make s'mores around the campfire. You know what I mean? And it's just stuff like, technically, I guess you could do in the winter, but you're going to freeze your ass off doing it. So, I don't think I have much more to say about this. I feel like I can talk for like an hour about all of this, but I'll probably just end up repeating myself. There's probably a few points that I missed. So if you're a pro summer like me, make sure to hit the comments. Tell me something I missed. If you're pro winter, stop being weird. I don't know what to say, but I don't know. Let me know why you're pro winter. If you're pro spring or pro fall, I can't really blame you. Fall isn't my cup of tea. I do like spring, but I got spring allergies, so it kind of kicks me in the ass all the time, so I can't really enjoy it like that. Yeah, if you're pro fall, pro spring, I don't really have a problem with you, but summer is still better at the end of the day. But yeah, y'all just let me know. Bye.